Once again, it's the fans' fault. This time, it's for the WandaVision season finale. If you remember, after they released the first two chapters and nothing really significant happened, and with the third episode, some fans started speculating that perhaps this was not the greatest show that they were all expecting, and that there were not going to be many answers for the questions that they were having. Because of that, there were some rounds of publicity and marketing hype, and it ended up being just that hype. Back in January, if you remember, actor Paul Bettany, who is playing a Vision in this WandaVision series, appeared on the Lights Camera Barstool podcast. And he was promoting WandaVision by saying the following thing, quote, "So many things get leaked, but there's this thing that has been completely on the wrap that happens. I work with this actor that I've always wanted to work with, and we have fireworks together. The scenes are great, and I think people are going to be really excited. I've always wanted to work with this guy, and the scenes are pretty intense," end quote. Now, who he was talking about remains still a mystery, even though the final episode has already been released, because apparently also Paul Bettany has decided to just backtrack on what he said in January, now that he appeared this week in Good Morning America, and he was like, "Oh, shite, I think that we may have blunder this." From Boundary to Comics, I have this information. Check them out on Twitter. And also check their YouTube channel. And Paul Bettany, as I said, came to Good Morning America, and he said the following when asked, "Will there be a big appearance by someone special in the finale of WandaVision?" And he says, yeah, you know, when you think something's going to be funny and you say it and then you actually panic about it, which is what I did. Because fans started guessing who it might be, and they were guessing people like Benedict Cumberbatch or Patrick Stewart. And I was thinking, God, that's a good idea, and they are going to be disappointed when they find out it's me. I suppose in reference also to episode 8's reveal that there was this White Vision that fans may remember quite well from the 1980s comic books, the White Vision, and he is just backtracking on what he said before. Now, there is also this the thing that Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Wanda, did on an interview with TV Line when she was asked if there was going to be any cameo similar to that one from Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian Season 2 finale, and she just said, "Yes, I'm really excited for viewers to see what or who is coming," and it turned out that nobody is coming and nothing really happened. If they were talking or if they were referencing that cameo by Evan Peters, who played Quicksilver in the Fox X-Men movies and who also appeared in WandaVision, then that is far from actually being to the level of Luke Skywalker appearing on The Mandalorian. And if they were also talking about any other possibilities, because there were many theories going around, like Mephisto was going to appear, or like Paul Bettany said, perhaps there was going to be a cameo by Doctor Strange's Benedict Cumberbatch because of the ties that WandaVision is supposedly going to have with the upcoming Doctor Strange movie number 2, which is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and none of that actually happened. The situation here that I see as a little bit insulting is that because of all these fan theories going around, and that also Paul Bettany talked about in Good Morning America, now it is the fans' fault that many found the finale to this season underwhelming, and in some other cases also disappointing. Of course, there are some who have liked this ending, have enjoyed all the rights, and they think that this ending is quite fitting. They also draw attention to the post-credits scene. There are two, by the way, for what I have gathered, but the one that they are addressing is the second one, the last one. They think that it's just enough to have their hopes and expectations satisfied and to call it a great show. Who is right, who is wrong? There is no real answer, because in opinions and when tastes are concerned, there is never a correct or an incorrect answer. It's just a matter of perspective. But when you have lots and lots of people outraged and disappointed by the ending, then you can very well assess that perhaps you were saying something that was not really there all the time. And in the case of WandaVision, what I see is just a little bit of false advertisement. So there's going to be this great cameo and everyone is going to enjoy it because it's going to be to the levels of Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian Season 2 finale. And then, when you see who are appearing there, all those guys that appear there during the series, and when you finally get to the end, and there is no one, that's surprising, right? And that is like, where's my cameo? Where is my level of hype and expectation, like the one that I got from Luke Skywalker appearing in The Mandalorian? I don't see anything like that here. I demand answers and I demand that hype and that expectation to be satisfied. What I think, and this is just my opinion, is that some of the people involved saw that fans were not happy with the format that they had chosen for the series and how the first episodes at least were a little slow and they didn't really enjoy them, and thought that it was better to create some hype and some expectations so that the fans continued watching. And at the end, the hype was just so big that it went past what they had thought was possible, and that's why prior to the release of the last episode they said no, don't get your expectations too high, trying to save face, trying to at least backtrack on what they had said before. Who knows? The only reality is that if the ending was underwhelming, it's just another hint, an indication that Disney do not really care about fans. They just care about making money. They only care about making the best of the situation. Was it worth it? Was it all necessary? Was it to the benefit of the fans? Will fans continue watching? I think that depends on every fan and every individual. If you really think that it was worth it, by all means, go and continue watching it. If you feel dissatisfied with what you saw, my recommendation is do not watch it. And if you want to cancel your subscription, even better, because that sends also a clear message that you are not up for being messed around with. In the end, you, the consumer, have the last word.